No. I mean, you just go play. You know, I mean, they've won a bunch of games in a row. Yeah, that's fine. But, I mean, it's a new year and it's a new game. You know, you get 60 minutes to try to beat each other up and see who comes away on the scoreboard with the win.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar. Hello, November. Foster Moreau opens up telling you about LSU, Alabama. It's Bama week, whatever you want to say. I'm Tommy Krysan along with Jordy Hultberg, and we're here to get you ready for LSU, Alabama this Saturday night in Tuscaloosa. Good evening, Jordy. How are you?
Good evening. And a very monumental day, this All Saints Day. Back in 1966, the NFL awarded the New Orleans Saints their 16th NFL franchise.
Go Saints, right?
Saints to the Super Bowl. There you go.
You know the story behind that is Dave Dixon, who was wanted to build a Superdome, tried to get the Dallas Texans to move, or he tried to get Lamar Hunt to move the Kansas City Chiefs into New Orleans about 5 or 6 years before that. And it got real close to happening, and then it didn't happen. But then lo and behold, the New Orleans Saints on All Saints Day.
All Saints Day,
that was a pretty cool thing.
That's
you
right.
and I growing up in New Orleans, all the other folks in New Orleans.
I was there for that opening kickoff with John Gilliam.
Were you?
I was there, Tulane Stadium, absolutely. I was there for the Tom Dempsey kick. Big Saints fan. But it's LSU Bama week. Bama 21.5-point favorite. Ed Orgeron said, "Thanks for telling me. I didn't know that."
Do you believe that?
No, he knew that. But
Okay.
they're going on a plane to win. He said all the right things. Let's go see what happens.
Well, he can't say anything but we're going on a plane to win. Do people really think he's going to say, well, we hope to do good?
Yeah.
No, it's not how you do it.
Thank you, College Football Selection Committee, for putting Georgia #1 and Alabama #2, as if Alabama needed any more to get motivated over. Saban will work that like a string fiddle.
In fact, I got a guy coming on my radio show this week who's a known Bama fan, big-time comedian, Jermaine Funny Mane Johnson. He posted right away, "Thank you for putting him #2. That's the best thing could ever happen." And, of course, but the committee loses lots of credibility putting Notre Dame at 3. That's a joke, okay? And then Clemson at 4.
Why is that a joke?
They're not. They'd be Alabama, Georgia, and Clemson would be 30-point favorites over Notre Dame if they play this week. I know Georgia only beat them by 1, but that's what it would be. Look at the first rankings. You see LSU stuffed in there at 19.
So who should be ahead of Who should be there instead of Notre Dame?
Oklahoma, Ohio State, Penn State, they're all better than Notre Dame.
Well, it'll play out.
Wisconsin's probably better than Notre Dame.
It'll play out.
No, it always does. That's the cool thing. College football playoff, the rankings come out. Several coaches have come out and said they wish they wouldn't put these things out. It does give radio and TV stuff to talk about.
Fans.
The fans can talk about it. So it is what it is.
Here's what I hope.
What you hope?
I hope that Notre Dame runs the table, and and they get in. And I hope Alabama. Well, I hope LSU beats Alabama. But let's say the odds makers are correct, and Alabama wins, and Alabama and Georgia meet, and they're undefeated, and it's a 10-7, 17-14 game. And those two get in, and Notre Dame gets in, and then you've got 4 other power conferences, only one gets in.
Right.
And then we can expand it and get 8 teams in it and go from there.
Yeah, anything that could happen to expand it, I think would be good. I mean, can't they see the good that has come from going from 2 teams in the BCS to 4 in the college football playoff? Well, it would happen again if you went to 8.
You think some of those bowl games would be appreciative of that? Having it expand?
Yeah. Because
their bowl becomes relative.
It becomes a playoff game because the bowl games are taking a little nosedive and all that good stuff.
Right.
So anyway, it is LSU Alabama week. I don't know what, Jordy, I thought about this before we got the cameras going. I don't know what we can say that hadn't been said or written or printed or typed or blogged or whatever you want to call it. But, it's a big game. To use an old cliche, LSU can control their own destiny. If they win out there in Atlanta, probably against Georgia, but regardless, they would be in Atlanta. But I've been asked many times, as you have. I mean, I think LSU, and we'll get into it tonight, they got to play a near-perfect game. Bama has to not have a good day. That's the only way they come out of Tuscaloosa with a win.
And I got to be honest with you. I did not think. I thought the streak would end with CBS taking this game and putting it in prime time. I really did. But obviously, they think that this carries weight because it's all about rating. They don't care who wins or loses. It's all about ratings for them. So they think that this game will draw good ratings, and so good for them. That's great.
Yeah, well, I mean, LSU's coming off of 3 straight wins. Yeah. 2 of them on the road. two of them against teams who were ranked when they beat them, and all SEC games. Bama's Bama. They're 8-0, 5-0. So I think CBS, put it in there, and hey, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Ed Orgeron is. I love the fact that he's brutally honest, and he says that you can come up with the greatest game plan in the world, but if you don't block them and you don't tackle them, then that game plan goes out the window. So how does LSU control? What do they do up front? Line of scrimmage, offense, defense. Without those guys, there is no playmakers to do anything because Danny Etling won't have any time to throw it, and Darius Geis won't have any room to run it. So you got to block them, and you got to tackle that legion of running backs and that quarterback that Ed Orgeron said is like a wildcat quarterback that can beat you with his arm. So it's a monumental task. I don't think has it ever been this big of a point spread in a long, long time between these two teams.
No, it's not been this big forever. I mean, the biggest spread, you got to go back over 20 years. LSU was a 17-point underdog to Florida. It's the biggest spread in an SEC game. Now, with all that being said, the kickoff will be right after 7 o'clock. The Pelican Sports post-game show will hit the air at about 10:30, give or take a few minutes, on radio, on TV, on the smartphones, on the computers, the whole bit. So you do want to check out the Pelican Sports post-game show with Buddy Sanji and myself about 10:30. You know the drill. We'll take your phone calls, your text messages. We'll talk all about it. It's a 90-minute program. Plenty of time for you to get in. We'll have reports from the stadium in Tuscaloosa, statistical analysis, and a whole lot more. TV will repeat Sunday morning at 9 and 10:30, back-to-back errands if you want to get up and check out what everybody had to say after the game.
I heard that loud scream, and it was you, because I heard that the LSU-Arkansas game was at 11 o'clock next Saturday. That means your post-game show will be a relative, and you can go get a nice dinner afterwards.
That's right. It was announced LSU-Arkansas on November the 11th will be 11 o'clock in the morning on the 11th. First morning kickoff since a few years ago with Kentucky, but that's the way it's going to be. LSU, Arkansas that following week on the 11th, but right now it's about LSU, Alabama. Let's tell you what we got coming up on the program tonight. You're going to hear from Coach Orgeron, his opening comments to the press, the question and answers with the media. He appeared, I don't want to use the word nervous, but a little more focused this particular Monday than some of the other Mondays. That's just a personal perception. Whatever. We'll get his question and answers. We'll hear from Coach Nick Saban, somebody you spent a lot of time with when he was in Baton Rouge. We've got plenty of LSU players to talk about the matchup with Alabama. Will Clapp, Devin White, Foster Moreau, etc. And in an exhibition game, Halloween night, we got Will Wade talking about the loss to the Tulane Green Wave, but you have a message for Tiger basketball fans.
Don't read anything into it just yet. Just don't do it.
They had a couple of guys hurt who did not play.
Yeah, it's just an exhibition game.
Well, I want to say something, but you told me don't.
Well, anytime you lose to Tulane in anything.
That's what I was going to say. Tulane's bad. It's one thing if Tulane was good.
It's never settles well with LSU fans, but it's an exhibition game. Just be patient.
I know you can say you never lost to the Green Wave while wearing the purple and gold.
8-0, baby.
There you go.
8-0.
All right, so we will have Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com with the very latest on recruiting. Recruiting so very important for LSU. And before we go to break, Jordy, what are the odds if we'd have went back to August, or if we'd have went back 2-3 weeks ago? What kind of odds would I have gotten if I'd have said Florida will fire their coach before Tennessee does?
Never saw that one coming. But I'm going to tell you what.
The world changes.
It helps when both parties are in agreement. And Jim McElwain wanted it out. He wanted out, no question.
The best thing about
why would you fabricate death threat stories and then not substantiate it? Well, when your boss says, "Tell me what's going on," so we can do something about it, and he goes, he kind of went, no.
We'll take a break.
Crazy.
When we come back, we're going to get right into some LSU football stuff, right into Coach Ed Orgeron. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan. This is Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us. Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com.
With Tigers Roar, Jordy Helper, Tommy Krysan with you. I saw a commercial in that stop set for the Roger Cador show, and it reminds me, I want to congratulate Coach. They're going to name the Baseball Operations Center, which is a building, if you hadn't been out to Lee Hines Field lately, it's behind the left field fence, locker rooms, coaches' offices, training room, all that outstanding building. Going to be named after Coach Cador. Southern University made that announcement, so very happy for him. He's been a long time great friend and a part
over 30 years, right?
47, counting his days as an athlete there. He's been a long time friend and part of Pelican Broadcasting. So I know on behalf of everyone at Pelican Broadcasting, congratulations to Coach Cador. And don't forget, you can check out his TV show here on the Pelican, as the commercial said, the Roger Cador Show. All right, Jordy, Ed Orgeron, he knows what it is. He's 0-4 against Alabama, lost 3 times at Ole Miss, lost last year. You know, everybody remembers it was 0-0 heading to the fourth quarter last year. Finished up 10-0. The folks on the football boards that had the number 0-0, they won all 4 quarters. So they were very happy.
Forgot about
I know
that.
a lot of people that won all 4 quarters. And you buy them things and you hope, hey, man, if I win a quarter, that'll be nice. If you had 0-0 last year, you got them all. So anyway,
I'll take the lottery over that any day. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that'd be the right
I'll take
thing.
the lottery.
Well, yeah. So anyway, Coach Orgeron, he knows what it is. Again, there's nothing we can say that hadn't been said, but he did make his opening comments at the weekly press luncheon earlier this week. We want to share those with you now. Here's the head football coach of the LSU Tigers, Ed Orgeron.
tough practice on Wednesday, and Thursday we had the Tiger Bowl. We let a lot of young guys play. A lot of guys did very well. Braden Fahoko had an excellent scrimmage. D. Anderson had an excellent scrimmage, along with other guys, but those guys showed out, and I was very proud of them. On to Alabama, a very important game for the state of Louisiana, a very important game to our fans, very important game to our alumni, a great tradition, a very important game to our football team. Alabama's a very good team, as we all know. They're undefeated. On offense, I think Brian DeBoer has done a tremendous job. We've been studying him for over a week now. Poses some problems with some great athletes. He's a spread. Offense, they run the ball well. They incorporate the RPOs and play action shots. They can go deep at any time. And they're very, very powerful. I think the difference in their football team is their offensive line. Their offensive line is very well coached. They're big, they're strong, they're physical. Typical Alabama team. They're averaging 500 yards offense, 300 yards rushing, 200 yards passing, averaging 43 points per game. Their top players, obviously, is Jalen Hurts. He runs the ball very well. It's almost like a wildcat tailback back there that can throw the ball. He can beat you with his feet. He can beat you with his arm. It seems like he's gotten better. They're making better decisions with him this year with quarterback runs, and can cause some problems by formations with the defense. And Dave has worked very hard on those plays this week. Calvin Ridley, great wide receiver, big play, 41 catches, over 500 yards. Damian Harris, good all-around back, thick, has a big trunk, can make you miss, is physical. Damian Harris, as I said, Bo Scarborough, big physical back. They got about 4 backs that they can play, and they just keep on rotating. They stay fresh, and you can't tell the difference from one to another. They're very, very well coached. Their offensive line, like I said, is big and physical, led by Jonah Williams, number 73. On defense, great defensive line. They play fundamental football. They fit well. Their linebackers in the right place. We're going to have to protect Danny. That's going to be the key in the game. This is a big man's game. We got to play great on the defensive line, the front seven, and we got to protect Danny. We got to find some spots to throw the football. They're 3-4 base. Their defensive coordinator is Jeremy Pruitt. 5 returning starters. They're giving up 236 yards per game, only 66 yards rushing, 170 passing. They're allowing only 9.8 points per game. I think their biggest factor, one of their biggest factors, their turnover margin, they're +10. We're +3 right now. Their defense has forced 4 fumbles and 11 interceptions. On special teams, their kickoff coverage is one of the best in the country, allowing 18.2 yard average per return. Punt coverage is one of the best in the country, 3 yards per return. Kickoff returner Henry Ruggs is very good, averaging almost 20 yards per return. Punter's pretty good, and the field goal kicker is 13 out of 16 with a long of 42 yards. We're looking forward to preparation this week. Today's Tell the Truth Monday. We're going to have a little longer practice than we have been. All our guys were in last night, Sunday at 10. They went home with their families. Everybody's in school, ready to go today. I know they're going to be pumped up for this game. And we'll be ready to play Saturday night, 7 o'clock.
All right, we continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy, you said it. Coach Orgeron said it. The line of scrimmage. I mean, there's a lot of
Put your big boy pants on. Put your big boy pants on.
There's going to be a lot of talent on both sidelines. Okay, we can agree to that. But what happens on the line of scrimmage, not the sidelines, is going to be the determining factor in this game. Whoever can control that line of scrimmage, more importantly, if it's close, control it late in the game, that's who's going to win this game. They've got playmakers. LSU's got playmakers. You can argue about who's better than who at what position and what position, but I think the focus is on that line of scrimmage. That's where the difference is going to be. And on paper, Bama has the advantage at the line of scrimmage.
Because they have really good starters and they have really good quality depth at each position. And it's a 60-minute game. And you remember Nick Saban always preached, don't look at the scoreboard, play a full 60 minutes. Bama has a tendency of wearing you down. LSU thin on that offensive line. They're going to be starting 2 freshmen. It's asking an awful lot. LSU on that defensive line, they're the healthiest they've been, but they don't have the depth. And once again, those guys are going to pound and pound and pound. So in essence, LSU has to play a flawless game. Bama has to help a lot. And then we'll see what happens. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, well, and, not to get way ahead, but playing those young guys on the offensive line for LSU.
Great for next year.
2-3 years down the road,
great. Yeah.
LSU on paper may have the dominant line of scrimmage in both directions, whether they're playing Bama or whoever they're playing. Some people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. That's going to help LSU going forward.
Right.
Maybe more so than it helps Saturday night or even in the following week in the morning against Arkansas.
No question. Future's great. They play in a lot of young players. It's been well documented. So if they all stay doing what they're supposed to do in school, out of school, if they continue to develop and then you continue to back. Why is Alabama so good? 7 consecutive years, the #1 recruiting class in the country. Unprecedented. He just keeps coming wave after wave after wave of player. They develop them. And that's the secret.
And I think you have to defer to Ed Orgeron and his staff. They know where their weaknesses are, and they're not going to bark it out and yell it on the radio or the TV. And we get that. That's fine. So hopefully on the recruiting trail, and we'll talk to Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com later on in the program, they know what they got to go get to accent the current team, and then keep getting as the years go forward. That's what it is. That's the cycle it is. Bama's been ahead of everybody on that cycle, which is why their record is what it is.
If you've played in any sporting event in your life, I don't care if it's Pee Wee to the NFL or the NBA, whatever it may be, LSU's going to be emotionally invested in this game. Yeah, they're going to be ready to play up here and physically. But as soon as that game starts, that wears off, and now it's you against that other guy. And how do you manage doing your job consistently throughout the course of a game? And it's a long game, and it's a brutally physical game. And that's just where Alabama has the advantage, because they can bring more guys in and rotate them. And LSU can't.
When there's 5 minutes to go in the third quarter and beyond.
If it's a one-quarter game, then hey, that's great. You got a great chance. But 4 quarters, constantly hitting, constantly. And those 4 and 5 running backs coming in, boom, boom, boom. It's a lot to ask for. But they're human. They're human. They're not invincible.
You got to line up and play.
A&M played them pretty good. Played them good. They lost, but they played them pretty good.
It's why you line up and play every weekend at all levels. You can go down to Division 2 and 3. There are teams that no one thinks is going to win a game, and they do. Now, can LSU win? Certainly they can win. I don't think they will, but you can't bet your life that they won't.
If we had Deshaun Watson, no offense, Danny Etling, if we had Deshaun Watson at quarterback, I'd like our chances a little bit more.
That's the other thing. If you go back in the last 5, 6, 7 years, the type of quarterback that has beat or had great success against Alabama, a Cam Newton, a Johnny Manziel, a Chad Kelly, a Deshaun Watson.
Mobile.
They're not. Danny Etlin's not that kind of quarterback.
No,
okay, with all due respect,
we don't have a quarterback like that anywhere on our roster.
Those are the guys that beat Bama or gave them much to do about trouble or whatever.
Yeah.
So, hey, we want to remind you the original airing of this program each and every week is on a Wednesday night. It's been like that for 11 years. The original airing is Wednesday night. We've got replays on the Pelican. We got replays on the ETEL cable system. Also, mid-morning Thursday, it goes up on YouTube each week, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting, where you can watch it at your convenience. So we just want to remind you about that. We appreciate you watching. I know many people send us feedback. They catch one of the replays, or they catch it on ETEL, or they go to YouTube and watch it. So just want to remind you of that, as we like to do from time to time. We'll come back and hear from more of Coach Ed Orgeron, some questions and answers with the media right after this pause. He's Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Christ saying, spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me. Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Hooper Road Car Care in Central has been serving customers for over 24 years. Locally owned by Donald and Gina Gaspard, they provide all types of car care, including brakes, alignment, tune-ups, oil changes, AC service, transmission, computer diagnostic, and much more. Hooper Road Car Care also provides towing services. Call 225-262-7127. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, 9695 Hooper Road in Central.
Relief Window. Experience Relief Window.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows is honored to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Continue with Tigers Roar, LSU Alabama week. Preparations continue. Again, a 7 o'clock kickoff, prime time on CBS. It'll put the post-game show on at approximately 10:30 with Buddy Sanjay.
You know, I've always said I wish Alabama wouldn't have the open date prior to the Alabama game, push it after the Alabama game. I particularly wish that was the case this year because new offensive coordinator, new system, not as much time to prepare for it, but Saban and company have had plenty of time to understand the eye candy that he calls Matt Canada's offense.
Yeah, and he gave it a lot of credit, actually.
Yes,
and,
yes.
You know, which, if you know Nick Saban, he rarely credits someone else. In other words, another team or another coach.
He always says good things about the teams.
Yeah, he's tactful, but
Right.
he's tactful even in a compliment to a team because he wants it to be all about his team, okay? And many coaches are like that. But anyway, also earlier this week, Coach Ed Orgeron took some questions from the media about the game, and we got this in two parts for you. So we'll show you the first part, then we'll come back and talk about it, then get you ready, set for the second part. So here's the question and answer session with Coach Ed Orgeron leading up to the LSU-Alabama game. Here's Coach Orgeron.
I want to ask you about your one of your assistants, Corey Raymond.
Yeah.
And if you can, maybe just share some thoughts on maybe some things about him that we don't know. How does he help the program recruiting as a coach? All these defensive backs in the league.
Yeah, well, you know, he recruits every defensive back we have. They love him. I think he has a great relationship with the players. and Corey will go to a school and find out all the information that he needs. We'll find out the champion and recruit the champion very hard. DBU, when he goes there, you know, he carries a big pedigree. He does a tremendous job of coaching. He played at LSU. He's from Louisiana. He don't want to hear about another school. You can't talk about another school in front of Corey Raymond. He has a lot of pride from being from Louisiana, from playing here, and playing in the NFL. I think he relies on the experience, on how he coaches those guys. He's very loyal to me. He's a good friend of mine. We're assistants together. I think he's a tremendous asset to our program.
In the middle. Coach, last week you called the Bama game a must-win. Today you said it's very important. Some coaches will...
Wait. Last week I called the Ole Miss
No,
game.
the Alabama game. I'm sorry.
I said the Ole Miss was a must-win.
Okay.
Last week.
My mistake. Today you said the Bama game is very important. Why embrace that where some coaches will downplay how big a game is, maybe just like another game?
Well, you know, born and raised in Louisiana, how can you not know that? You know, I mean, this is the game. Everywhere I go, they talk about this. This is the game. But you know what? I'm not going to make it so huge to our players that they won't be able to play. We're going to be ready to play. And obviously, we got 4 games left on our schedule. This one's the next one, so it's important. I think this is huge for us in recruiting. I think this is huge because they have won the SEC, they have won national championships, and they're on top of the world right now. So this is the benchmark.
Yeah, Ed, is there much difference between the Ball's offense and Kiffin's offense and what you've seen?
A little bit different. Quarterback runs a little bit different. Some similar stuff. They still run the zone. They still run the power. They still run the inside zone, outside zone, and the stretch. But they're doing more quarterback runs and more quarterback reads with them right now, and they're very difficult.
Coach over here. In the last 6 meetings, LSU has scored 17 points or less in these games, including being shut out last year. How do you remedy that? And was Matt Canada brought in to win this game?
You know, one of the reason I hired Matt because of all the shifts and formations and stuff that I thought that would give Alabama problems. And I think that Matt has done a tremendous job for us this year. Obviously, he spent all week last week on his game plan. Obviously, when he watches the film, he sees what he can do and what he can't do. But it all starts with blocking those guys up front. I mean, you can have the best play called in the world, but if you can't block those guys up front, it's not going to work. So I think that protection is going to be key for us. Be able to run the ball in spots, be able to throw the ball when we can throw it and move the ball. Obviously, scoring points against these guys are very tough, but I think he's going to do a very good job of managing the game and taking shots when he can.
Straight ahead. Every year, there's so much talk about the losing streak to Alabama. How much does that kind of loom over this program? Is that something that's noticeable?
It's not inside, not for us. We take it one game at a time. We focus in on the task at hand. But I realize that it's out there, obviously, and I realize the pressure to beat Alabama as the head coach here. And I realize that. But as far as factoring in every day in the office, no. But is it noticeable on the outside? Yes, not inside.
Coach, you were running a different offense, obviously, last year against Alabama. But from the sideline, watching them up close, what did you learn? Like, this does not work against these guys. And what can you create at the quarterback position this week?
Well, first of all, Danny has to be very, very patient. He has to make the right throws and the right decisions in a big game. This is his test. He knows it. But we got to protect him. I mean, now there were some throws last year that were wide open. He didn't make them. He'll realize that. And there were some times we didn't block very well for him. So I know we have a better plan this year. And I think that our offense is working very hard to protect Danny and get the throws out that we can get and run the ball when we can.
Ed, on your intro presser when you got the job, you mentioned getting better on the D-line and O-line to win games like this. How far away are you from being where you need to be?
Yeah, we're a little ways away. Now, you look at Sadiq Charles and Ed Ingram. I mean, those guys that coming in and starting as freshmen can be the type of offensive lineman that we need. I love all our guys, okay? But those are physical guys. They have the physical stature that it takes to be able to block these guys. Now, are they ready to block these guys? We're going to find out as freshmen. It's pretty hard. But we need to continue getting guys like that. You know, on defense, we have Braden Fehoko, We had Tyler Shelvin, who was 350-something pounds. You know, those guys are the guys that we brought in to play in the 3-4 defense to win an SEC. But we need to continue to recruit better. We need to get bigger and faster on the line of scrimmage. This is a big man's game. This is where the game is won.
You played a lot of spread teams this year. Bama likes to run downhill, run in between the tackle. How does it change kind of how you play defensively?
Yeah, we need to be gap sound. We need to be gap sound. We need to understand where our fits are. We need to beat blocks when we need to beat blocks. We need to stay home when we need to stay home. Our linebackers need to key and diagnose. The biggest thing, we need to tackle. When we get at the point of attack, we need to make the plays.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy, you made the comment, Bama had the extra week to get ready for Matt Canada's offense. Well, other side of the coin, LSU's got 2 weeks to try to find a hole or find a spot they think they can exploit or a plan of attack and all that good stuff. So, I mean.
The best thing is Rashard Lawrence is healthy, Ed Lawrence is healthy, Geis is healthy, Arden Key's healthy, getting in shape. So other than K.J. Malone, it's all hands on deck. And it's the first time you can say that all season long. So that behooves LSU in that case.
I think another point you made a little earlier is a good one. Everything leading up to the game, that's fine and dandy. But when the referee blows that whistle and somebody kicks that football, now it's all about execution. Do your job on every single play.
Every play.
To help your teammates. All 11 that are between the lines have to do it. And
what happens when you're tired and they keep punching you in the face? What happens? How do you respond to that? And that's...
can you get up off the mat and
keep playing?
And respond,
keep playing.
Yeah, so those will all be factors. And again, everything we're saying, everybody kind of knows it and all that. And we don't know what will happen, but it's going to be fun to sit back and watch it. And then, of course, get in touch with us on the post-game show after and talk about it.
Is it a rivalry? Don't you have to have a team that...
I don't think it's a true rivalry, because a true rivalry...
Back and forth?
Both teams have to think it's their rivalry. Well, Alabama doesn't think LSU's their rivalry.
LSU's got to win games against them.
Well, that too. Yeah, but Tulane LSU was a rivalry for a long time. When LSU won 25 straight, it was still considered a rivalry because at that point in time, they both thought that was their biggest game. Remember, that used to be the last game of the year and all this, that, and the other. And then when Tulane won back in 73, it was a major story.
Yeah. Not so much a rivalry. We don't have one.
And Alabama's rival will always be Auburn. Sure. End of story. Followed
Auburn,
by Tennessee,
then LSU.
Well, yeah. So, but it's kind of ironic.
That's just our geographic location.
But if you had another major school in the state of Louisiana, then you'd have that.
That could compete on a day-to-day basis. Then you've got a rivalry.
Right, so you don't have that. All right, we're going to continue with more of the question and answers about the Alabama game, about the LSU team getting ready for it. Here's some more of Coach Ed Orgeron.
Ed, I'm sure you're taking note that Jim McElwain got let go at Florida. Why do you think college coaching has become more volatile in the last few years? And in the SEC, do you think that has something to do with the fact that Alabama's had so much success and everyone is saying you got to be on that level?
Yeah. I haven't thought about it that much, to be honest with you. I was on the road recruiting Friday, went to my kids Saturday. I don't know when he got fired. Somebody told me that yesterday morning or today, whatever. I haven't paid much attention to it, but I do understand this, that having a head job, a coaching position like this in the SEC is very valuable. And you get paid to win. And if you don't win, they'll get somebody else to do it. I mean, that's just the way it is. And you understand that's taking the job. So whatever happened there, I'm not abreast of. I don't like to see anybody get fired, but I know it's part of the business.
Coach DJ Chark had a pretty good line the other day. He said, nobody on the team bets. We don't pay attention to lines or whatnot. But when you're a 21-point underdog, do you bring that up with the team as far as being a big underdog, embracing being an underdog?
It was the first I heard of it. Thanks for telling me. And that don't mean anything to us. I mean, that's why you play the game. I think Syracuse didn't listen to that when they played Clemson. Just why you play the game. You never can tell. We're going in there with the mindset we're going to win the football game. Now, whether that happens or not, we have to execute. We have to play very, very well. But we're getting on that plane to go win a football game. That's going to be our attitude.
Coach, I Alabama's defense, they are relentless. They've got incredible endurance. What are you and the Tigers going to do to keep up with that, especially when it gets late in the game?
Yeah, we need to keep our guys fresh. We need to use different speeds on offense when we can. I need to be smart about it. And but again, I think that the whole key to Alabama is protecting the quarterback. If you can protect the quarterback, you got a chance. We can't let them get their cleats in the grass and get in the pass rush mode. They become very tough.
Ed, you're talking about recruiting and linemen, and obviously Rashard Lawrence is such a huge piece in sort of this LSU versus Alabama battle from the part of the state he's in. Just, I guess, what do you recall about his recruitment and how big it was to secure that?
I mean, countless Saturdays on unofficial visits. Sunday morning, I remember watching film with him from 8 to 11. And I said, well, Rashard, how we stand? He goes, well, I really like Alabama. Oh, man, Sunday morning. I said, thank you. But you have to fight. You got to fight it. You know, North Louisiana, you know, we have several commitments from North Louisiana now. We made a big push in North Louisiana, and they've done a good job there. They need to battle. It came all the way down to the end, and actually it came down between us and Ohio State for Rashard. But you just got to hang tough in there. And listen, I was recruiting Raekwon Davis. I was recruiting Isaiah Buggs. You know, they beat us on those guys. And those are the guys that we need to get, and we need to beat them in recruiting.
Coach, kind of staying on the same topic, what is it about Alabama as a D-line guy that they can reload so well on that front? What do you see there?
Well, they do a good job of recruiting. They do a good job of evaluating. Give them credit. I mean, they do a good job. We go after the same guys. And I'm glad we got some of the guys we got. We beat them on a couple guys. They've beaten us. Now, remember, this is his 11th year there. This is my first. Okay.
Coach, straight here in the back, this game, especially last year, you can see how one big play, one score, that could be the only score of the game to determine it. How much do you stress to the team, whether it be on defense, offense, special teams, that one play, you have to take advantage of the opportunity, could be the only score in the game?
You know, the first thing we talked to our team about against this team is execution, doing it right every down. When you watch them play, you watch them block, you watch them run, it's all about great athletes being well coached, and execution is the same for us. If you jump out of gap, this is like playing in the NFL. The margin of error is like that. You jump out of gap, they're gonna make a play. You stay in your gap, you're gonna make the tackle. You in a press corner, you get beat, it's touchdown. You beat him, you make it an interception. That's the way this game goes.
Coach, is this maybe the healthiest the team has been since the BYU game? Did that bye week come at the perfect time?
I would say so. Yeah, we're healthy. We're rested, the healthiest we've been in a while. And you know, we've had 3 SEC victories in a row, so our team's feeling confident about themselves right now.
Speaking of health, KJ, what's this? He's going to practice this week, you think?
KJ's questionable.
Practice.
KJ's questionable.
How about anybody else questionable, Ed, that you can think of?
I think we're very healthy right now. Everybody good? Have a great day, guys.
Kind of short, but what else can you ask? Yeah, let's go tee it up. Let's go play.
We're sitting here. What else can
We all know. I mean, that's what happens when you have a bye week. It X and O and X and O till you can't X and O anymore.
Yeah, but it's been a good week on all the local radios.
Yeah.
No?
Yep.
Oh, okay. My Florida red is correcting me. That's my fault.
Oh, you sat on. Anyway, look. 7 o'clock, we'll find out.
TV.
3.5 hour ball game, and we'll see what happens between LSU and Alabama. But again, Alabama right now 21.5-point favorite, and the college football committee didn't do us any favors when they put Bama number 2 behind Georgia. I said it before. I'll say it again. They'll be a little bit more motivated.
See, people
Trust
are
me.
so tired of what we're saying. I had turned my mic off.
You turned your mic off. It was the best. It was the best segment
best
ever.
I sounded all night.
Ever on this show.
Best I sounded
it was
all
terrific.
night, huh? Oh,
ratings went boop through the roof. Absolutely.
But anyway, all the
Absolutely.
radio programs that we have, everything. I mean, when you go to the internet, whether it's social media, or you go. I mean, it's just everywhere. I mean, and I guess that's good for the fans. They want to read and talk because they can do it when they want at their convenience.
But everyone will point to that 2011 season, the game of the century, when LSU, in my opinion, still had the best team they ever had, and went in there and won that football game in overtime 9-6. But then the rematch in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and where Alabama, the difference from A.J. McCarron on that November to A.J. McCarron in that January, that his transformation was remarkable. Remarkable. And many people will point to that game as starting the downward trend of LSU football. Les Miles was never the same. LSU football started to go down. Now it's up to Ed Orgeron to get it up. And he realizes, if we're going to be able to recruit, you got to beat them. You got to beat them because kids want to go where teams win. And that's why he said it's so important to the fans. It's important to the state. It's so important to recruiting. Can they get it done? We'll see.
I read an interesting thing from Mike Detillier. He's a big football guru.
Mm-hmm.
And you go back to that year when LSU played Bama, and then you look at a case of two teams, LSU versus Bama. From that point forward, nobody has put more people in the NFL than the LSU-Alabama matchup going forward from 2010. Because they always talk about Bama's had all these recruiting classes, and LSU's classes have been very, very good.
Very good.
But put together, the second best nation, this is nationwide, is LSU Florida for putting people in
LSU's
the NFL in the last 8 years. So
what does that tell you?
It goes back to what I said earlier. There's going to be so much talent on both sidelines. Some guys that you hadn't heard of, but they're going to be drafted 3-4 years from now.
LSU's had more players going to the NFL, which tells me we've got better players. Alabama's got the better team, and the better team always wins.
That's a Jordyism. You need to write a book.
Always
wins. Best. They got good players, but here's the better team. I've heard you make that comment many times over the years, and that's spot on. That's pretty good. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. Got more for you. Yeah, we keep talking about how much there is. We've got more for you, and when we come back, we'll tell you about the radio station that we have, and that'll simulcast the post-game show this Saturday night at about 10:30. We'll do all of that and much, much more. Spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Roger Kador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Fruget Jr., and I am a general dentist at Fruget Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with Tigers Roar. I want to remind you about WUBR. That's right. It's available on our app, WUBR. You see the big red letters on your screen. It's free. Go to your app store, go to Google Play, and download it. An affiliate of CBS Sports Radio and the home of the Jim Rome Show, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. The local lineup, including the gentleman to my left, Jordy Hultberg, including the one and only Buddy Sanji.
Thank God.
Dave Scandaliato on Friday, Ken Trahan's Prep Report on Fridays, Carlos Brown on Saturdays, and on the weeknights through the night. And you got Louisiana Music Hall of Fame Radio, hosted by Mike Shepard. That's really good stuff. All Louisiana talent, really good stuff. So check it out, the local, mixed in with the national stuff. Get it on the WUBR app or the TuneIn app, and be a part of LSU Bama Week and everything else going forward. A lot of fun right there. Jordy, tell everybody about your radio programs in both the Lafayette and New Orleans market.
Every Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 p.m., 103.7 The Game, 103.7thegame.com in Acadiana, Sports 1280, sports1280.com in New Orleans. So listen in.
We were chatting with Jonathan Poche earlier. I mean, you've been a sportscaster forever, as have I, but you're so much longer in radio, and we've seen that merge in the past 10, 15 years of radio, TV, and even print guys, all the writers. It's all come together, and it's all because of the internet, and it just gives people more options, right?
More options to be bored or to be entertained, whatever it may be.
Well, sports fans have a passion.
Yes, they do.
And then the gamblers. They want to hear what you think, I think, and they put it all together. And
don't blame me if I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot. Don't blame me.
We're all wrong a lot.
Don't blame me.
Anybody tells you they're not wrong, they're telling you incorrectly that they're not wrong. All right. We've heard from Coach Orgeron. A little bit later, we'll hear from Coach Nick Saban, but it's all about the players. Coach Orgeron is not going to be out there for one single snap. Here are some LSU players talking about getting ready for and talking about the game against Alabama.
So for all the people that show up in the bye week, they said there would be a lot more people here on Monday.
This is going to finally be the year that y'all beat Bama.
I mean, it's every day. I mean, even in the off season, that's the one thing people want to know, and everybody wants to know is this year we beat Bama. I mean, it's been a while now, and obviously that's a big rivalry here, so that's the question everybody wants to know.
As far as you're healthy, you're refreshed, maybe a different team that played against Troy in this mistake.
Definitely. I mean, Troy was like that wake-up game, I think. Even though it sucked losing to Troy, we needed that. We needed a wake-up call. We put together, a good run right now, and we're trying to just keep that momentum going. Guys have woken up. We've all, realized where we are and how to keep building on that. So, yeah, this is definitely a different team, and, the bye week came at a perfect time. We're now, well rested and ready to go.
The way you have in the recent past, why do you think that is currently?
I think our new offense definitely gives us advantages. I mean, it gives us advantages over every defense. All the shifts and motions make people uncomfortable, and when a defense is uncomfortable, they don't know where to line up. They don't exactly know what to do before the play. That's an advantage to the offense because they're thinking more about where they need to line up than more of what they need to do.
The best LSU running backs, in history that you guys have had, being slowed down by Alabama. Now you got Darius Geis healthy. Coach O says the offensive line is just the biggest key, being able to protect Andy. How much do you feel like it comes down to how y'all are able to perform up front?
Yeah, I mean, this game always comes down to who wins the line of scrimmage. I mean, the front seven. We got a good front seven on our defense. They got a good one on theirs, and whoever wins the line of scrimmage normally wins the game.
Are you asking me to give away my game plan?
No.
No. I mean, this is a different offense, filled with a bunch of moving parts, shifts and motions, which on film it looks like they don't like too much. But they're a really good defense every year. I mean, they come back with different pieces and they kind of adjust to their skills and try to blanket their weaknesses. But they're just a good football team that we're going to have to fight our butts off to pull away a W. I mean, we're just going out to play. I'd never really kind of understood the whole underdog thing, I mean, because you're sending out 11 guys, they're sending out 11 guys. I mean, all 11 are fully functioning, capable human beings, Either side's, has the ability to get beat. So we're just going out there with a winning attitude. I mean, we're on a one-game win streak, so we'll see what we can do.
How old were you in 2011 was the last time LSU won?
I would have been like 14.
That's a pretty long time. Is that kind of a psychological hurdle for y'all when it's been so long, no one associated with the program until we beat Alabama?
No. You just go play. They've won a bunch of games in a row. Yeah, that's fine. But, it's a new year and it's a new game. You get 60 minutes to try to beat each other up and see who comes away on the scoreboard with the win. I'll give you a juicy little thought that I had last year. I was on the sideline, and we were just about to kick the ball off, right? Just about right before the game. And I just kind of looked at them, they're on the field, and I'm like, okay, yeah. They wear red jerseys, but they're human, when you're young, you can kind of get into that, oh, yeah, this is the game. This is the game. And then you look forward and you think, oh, that's the game. And then you lose week 5 to Troy at home. You lose by 3. You just got to take it one game at a time or else you'll just lose. Pre-game against Mississippi State, fights are kind of going on. Guys are getting hyped up. And you're just thinking, oh, we're not good enough to fight with these guys on the 50-yard line. That's a Florida thing. No, they could still whoop you 37-7 if you're not in the right mentality. So you just gotta face every opponent, like coaches say. Like people just think it's just you just kind of slide past that, but you really have to face every opponent like they could beat you every day.
I could feel it. What are you going to do to bring that into this next game?
We're going to try to bring the same energy. Playing away from home is kind of tough because, you don't have all the guys on the sideline, throwing the towels and, jumping up and down and bringing that energy. But I think the people that we bring, those young guys, like I'll call a few out who are always energized. Jamal in my position room, he's always energized. And Jacoby Stevens is always jumping around. I could always see him on film jumping up and down on the sidelines when a big play is going on, which is so empowering for teammates to know that you have guys in your corner that have your back no matter what.
It's gonna be physical from the start to the finish. So, I'm looking forward to it.
What do you remember from this game last year? How much did you play in it?
I played it quite a bit. I know one of my first plays was like a hit on the goal line. That I made a hit on the 1-yard line. I shot a gap. And it was on their freshman running back, so it was like a freshman on freshman deal. And I had a couple other plays, but after I got that one penalty, I didn't really get back in the game.
Is Hurts different than most running quarterbacks, or is he like anyone else you guys have faced already?
I say he's different because he got a lot of moves to his game when he running the ball, so he just don't run and slide. He'll try to juke.
How often you guys get asked, will this finally be the year you guys beat Alabama?
We get asked a lot, this is only my second year here, but, like when I went home this past weekend, that's what everybody asked. But, before you want to win every game, but you don't know the outcome of the game, so you just got to go in, with the mindset to win and just go in and fight for 4 quarters.
Were you recruited by Alabama?
Yeah, I was pretty heavily recruited by Alabama.
When you pick a school, whether it be LSU or Alabama, you kind of know that this is going to be a huge game. What do you take into that about, I don't know, just the intensity of the matchup?
I mean, yeah, the intensity goes, way beyond my years, so, I mean, I'm just glad that I could be a part of the game because I know it's a big game. I know a lot of people be watching, and, it's one of the late games of the night, so it's just a lot of people play for different reasons, so, for me, I'm playing for the state of Louisiana, so that makes it even more intriguing.
How much pride is in a game like this from a rivalry standpoint, from bragging rights, from games that, if you were to win, you talk about it 30, 40 years later?
I mean, that means a lot, but, and for us, if, we win this game, it's another step, for us to get to, like, the SEC championship. So I think that's what means the most to us because, we got goals, team goals. So, I know you get to talk about it at the end, but it's just more of just winning so you can reach goals that you have set out.
Saying that more the text of like they lost to Troy, now they're a lot better. Do you feel like
that they helped?
It's fueling you guys to be more of a threat to them. Do you agree with that? I guess.
I mean, I agree with it. After that game, we had to come to our senses and we had to get this ship back on the right track. So, I mean, it helped us in a lot of ways, but it was a game that you still don't want to lose at the end of the day.
Last week, you had said you don't see this as a rivalry game. Haven't won in a while. That's not something you usually hear anything associated with this game. Why don't you see this as a rivalry game? How do you see this?
I see it just as a big game that's going to get a lot of exposure that we have to go out and win. But when I said that, it's like having that big older brother that you can never beat up. So, I feel like we haven't beat Alabama. Well, it's proof that we haven't beat them in 6 years. But, when you get old enough and you get big enough and you can beat your older brother up. So I feel like now it's the time for us to beat them up and, beat them on the field. But for me, a rivalry game is somebody that win this week, then the next week, then the next time they lose, then they win. It's just go back and forth how it was in the past, before 6 years ago. Because LSU used to be Alabama. That's when it used to be a big rival. But now since we haven't been winning, it's just like, hey, because I know they don't look at it like that's our rival. We finna go beat them like we do every year. So that's why I said that.
Do you see that as a psychological hurdle for y'all that you haven't beaten them in so long?
I don't know. I guess it's just the teams haven't executed, but you get a shot at them every year. So now we finna get another shot, and hopefully we can jump that hurdle.
We continue with Tigers Roar. The players, man, you can tell they're players.
Well, look, and journalists can be shady sometimes.
Yeah.
AL.com took that Devin White comment about the big brother, and they chopped it up and made it sound like, something of a trash talk style. And that drew Twitter comments from the Alabama players saying, we don't talk trash. We just locked the gates on Saturday, business. And so Devin White had no disparaging remarks whatsoever to say about Alabama. So
he's smart enough to know better than that. I want to ask you, from somebody who's been in the arena, not the football field, like when you're getting ready to play Kentucky back in your day, or Georgia, who was very good with Dominique Wilkins, and then all the postseason y'all had. I mean, do players sometimes get caught up in who the other team is?
Oh, you know who the good teams are.
Yeah, you
know who the good teams
who
are.
The worst team in the SEC was back then.
And you don't need any motivational tactics. You get the sense, you understand, you're a competitor, and to beat the best, to be the best, you got to beat the best. All the cliches you want to use. So, no, you do know. There's no question. And LSU will be fired up and ready to go. But then the game starts, and then you got to have to play. You got to execute. And we beat Kentucky when they were the number 1 ranked team in the country back in the day. I know, but nobody likes to talk about that. But back in the day, we executed. And we played hard, and we played well, and we played together, did all those things. The crowd certainly helped. You put that all together, and you can do it. Now, that was one of 2 losses they had all season, and they won the national championship. But on that given night, it was at home. It was in Pete's Palace, the Deaf Dome.
By the way,
that's in Tuscaloosa.
Your coach had a birthday this week.
Yes, 82 on Halloween Day.
Coach Dale Brown.
As did Nick Saban, 65, 66 on Halloween Day.
Yeah, so a couple of good birthdays there. But no, yes, you know who the opponent is, but you can't dwell on that too much.
No, you're going to dwell on it enough.
Yeah.
And that's what was great about basketball is you had 2 or 3 days to dwell. LSU's had 2 weeks to dwell on this. So that's all they hear about as they walk to class and come back and go. So you got to be mentally tough, mentally strong.
In the illustrious long history of LSU football, they've only beaten the number 1 ranked team twice. Do you remember those two? I'm not trying to blindside you here.
Florida
in 1997.
Yep.
The other one I kind of didn't know at first till I read it.
I'm trying to remember.
They've lost 12 times to a number 1 ranked team.
Was it?
It's in recent history.
I should know this. I should know this. Who?
It's since the turn of the century.
Who? Alabama?
No.
No. Auburn?
No.
Florida twice?
No. Ohio State in the dome that day.
In the championship game.
And look, I don't feel alone. When I forgot about somebody
that.
first said, "Hey, who's the only 2 times?" Of course, I was at that Florida game, so I knew that one. And then I'm trying to think of the other one. And I couldn't think of it right off the top of my head. And then as soon as they said it, I went, "Aha, that's the other one." Kind of just like you did.
That was a pretty big game there. That had a lot on the line.
10-0 Buckeyes early in that game.
I had a lot on the line for that one. Yep.
Yeah, so anyway, that was that. And again, they'll kick it off prime time Saturday night, 7 o'clock on CBS in Tuscaloosa. Actually, the kick will be just after 7. We haven't seen the times of interest yet.
Were you surprised that they put it in prime time?
I thought it would be with the fact that LSU had won 3 straight. Had LSU lost, especially the last one to Ole Miss, I don't think they'd have been prime time.
I guess the only other choice they had was Auburn, A&M, no. South Carolina, Georgia, no.
There wasn't a lot of big choices out
so
there.
that's the third one.
But anyway, we hadn't seen the times of interest yet, but they'll kick it off right after 7 o'clock on CBS prime time. Now, that puts the Pelican Sports postgame show on the air at about 10:30. Buddy Sanji and I will have it. Your phone calls, your text messages right after the game, a 90-minute program. We'll get reports from the stadium with Ronnie Rance on Sports Shorts Radio and Sports Shorts TV. Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com will also have a report for us. We'll have the stats, and we'll take a look at it all in the Pelican Sports postgame show. 90 minutes, radio and TV, smartphones, computers, tablets, the whole bit. Television repeats on Sunday morning. In case you miss it, you want to check it out, 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m., back-to-back airings on a Sunday morning for the Pelican Sports postgame show on Pelican Sports TV. And it, like a lot of our other programming, whether it's the Roger Kadar Show, Sports Shorts, Tigers Roar postgame, go to youtube.com/Pelican Broadcast, and you can check it out there as well. We'll take a break, come back. Going to let you hear from that guy that used to coach at LSU that now coaches at Bama. Coach Nick Saban will be up when we return after this pause on Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Jaguar Nation, I'd like to say thank you for your continued support of our student athletes and our coaches. Once again, you have shown America we have the greatest fans in the country. It's time. Football season. Season tickets are available. Go Jags.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-718-3516, 800-718-3516.
Jaguar fans, exciting news. Come join President Ray Belton and myself, Athletic Director Roman Banks, at our home game season finale. A first-class experience at the first annual VIP party in the end zone on Saturday, November the 4th, starting at 2 p.m. Come out, wear your gold, and enjoy great entertainment, food, drinks, and a lot of fun from the field as the Jaguars battle the Prairie View A&M Panthers. A limited number of tickets are available. Please contact us for more information at 225-771-3171. Come out and enjoy the fun.
Hooper Road Car Care in Central has been serving customers for over 24 years. Locally owned by Donald and Gina Gaspard, they provide all types of car care, including brakes, alignment, tune-ups, oil changes, AC service, transmission, computer diagnostic, and much more. Hooper Road Car Care also provides towing services. Call 225-262-7127. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, 9695 Hooper Road in Central.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
We continue with Tigers Roar as we continue. We've heard from Coach Orgeron. We've heard from a lot of the LSU players. Jordy and I have commented. And coming up in a little while, Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com, he'll comment as well. Still to come, we got a little basketball for you as the Tiger team was in New Orleans last night at Fogelman Arena for an exhibition on Halloween night. I just want to know who scheduled that. We'll get to that a little bit later.
Makes no sense to me.
But the Alabama head coach, Nick Saban.
Best in the business.
Was at LSU, brought LSU to heights when he didn't take over a program that was in good shape. When Les Miles took over for Nick Saban, the program was in very good shape.
Very good shape.
Nick Saban came in here, asked for a lot, was given a lot by then Chancellor Mark Emmert.
Had a vision, knew what it took.
And you were as close to him as anyone. All your sideline reporting, all the other time you spent with him. You've done this in years before on this show on Alabama. We give us a Nick Saban story or two that maybe not everybody's heard, a particular story or something.
He's just an intense coach. I went to his 50th birthday party, about 12 of us. And Terry, his wife, said, bring your Letterman's jacket and dress up like that. So it was fine. We were right there on Highland Road at his house. And we're sitting there, and it was on a Thursday. And, everybody was having a great time. The party was outside, moved it inside. And about 8:30, I look, and where's Nick? And Nick is sitting down on a brick fireplace setting, and he's sitting there all by himself. And I'm like, well, and he's looking down like this. And I said, so I walked over, sat down next to him, and said, hey, buddy, how you doing? How are you? He goes, I hate this. I said, what do you mean you hate this? This is your birthday party your wife put together for you. Your near and dear friends are here. I hate this. I could be looking at tape right now, and I got to be sitting here at this dadgum birthday party. I cannot stand this. I said, well, look, I'll do you a favor. I'll round everybody up. We'll sing happy birthday. We'll cut the cake, and we'll get out of here in the next 30 minutes, and then you can go back studying tape. Say, you'll do that for me? I said, yeah, I'll do that for you. Man, you're good. Thank you. Do it. Go ahead, do it, please, because I hate this.
I'll tell you a quick little story. A friend of mine's on his staff now and has been on before, and then he went to the NFL for a while, and he's back this year. Joe Panunzio is a tight end coach, and he works with special teams. He told me a story of how, if it's a day when Coach Saban's in his office working, whatever, he's not out on the road, his secretary brings him the same little turkey sandwich and snack at like 11:45 and puts it on his desk, the identical same thing each and every day that he's there, because he thinks it's a waste of time to decide what you're gonna eat for lunch. In other words, like say you and I were here working and we say, all right, lunchtime, what do you want? You want a po' boy? You want to get some Chinese food? What do you want?
Dinner, I'm starving.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Well, he thinks that's a waste of time. So he eliminates the thought process by having her automatically bring said lunch at a certain time.
The hair salon comes to him. He put the thing on at his desk and they cut his hair and all that stuff.
Diet,
all that stuff. Yeah.
You know what I did? He's getting a little thin up top. A couple of aerial shots.
I have no comment.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Still got a full head of hair, but a couple of aerial shots.
He got rid of the mock turtlenecks though. That went by the wayside.
But he's an intense guy.
And let me make one thing perfectly clear, okay? Everybody that says, because I don't wear socks with my shoes, except if it's a suit. I don't wear socks. Oh, you're copying Nick. I said, oh, time out. I'm from the Big Easy. I did that when I was 2 years old. I did that all the time.
When you had that Lacoste
Yeah, we did that all
on,
the time. We just don't wear socks down there. So, no, I'm not copying
That was an uptown New Orleans thing.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All you guys up there did
Loafers,
the
no
sock
socks.
thing. At the old, what was it?
Waste
the
of time.
Silver Maple?
Waste of time.
Silver Maple? I think you've been in
The
there.
Maple Hill?
Well, you've been in there once or twice. But anyway, Coach Saban is what he is, and you know, now and then you run into an LSU fan who says, I hate Nick Saban. I say, why? He did great things for LSU, at LSU, and you know, and I'm not trying to, I don't know how this is going to sound, but he gets credit for them, this run they've been on since 2000. He's a part of that.
Yeah, no question.
The golden years of LSU football.
They never would have had it
from 2000 to now.
I'm not saying they wouldn't have it, but it would have taken a long, long time to get that indoor practice facility, those coaches' offices. He understand. He knew what it was going to take to get to where he wanted to go, and he had a plan and a vision to get there. You put it all together. The academic center is because of him. That indoor facility is because of him. He was not afraid to say, this is what we need, let's get it done.
And I think we also have to tip our hat to then Chancellor Mark Emmert for recognizing that in fact needed to be done, because he could have been the one that said it's not going to happen,
that's right.
or it's going to happen on a different scale. But, you know, so again, his place, like Les Miles, they'll always have a sparkling part of the LSU football history 10, 20, 30, 50 years from now when people look back.
Does LSU ever put statues up of Dietzel, Saban, and Miles?
Probably should.
I can't imagine Saban being at two universities with a statue up. I don't know.
Well, they probably
We're statue
should,
happy. We went from statue zero.
We went from no
to
statues
statue happy.
to like statues everywhere you turn.
Everywhere.
Now, huh?
Yeah.
I'm indifferent to that. I think it's great. The ones that have statues deserve them, and there's probably some more people that don't have them.
National championship.
That
Let's do it.
Yeah, that could be the criteria. If you win a national title, we will put a statue up.
Pete Maravich's Assembly Center, Dale Brown.
Where's the Pat Henry statue?
Oh, I know.
He won lots of national championships, didn't he? So
it's Dennis
I guess
Shaver.
you open a can of worms there. Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, enough of that. Let's let you hear from Coach Saban as he talked about his team and the preparation and the matchup with the LSU Tigers.
LSU has gotten better as the season has gone on. Probably the worst thing that happened for all of us in the SEC is when they lost to Troy. You know, they've really made a turnaround as a team, which I think speaks volumes of the coaching staff and the job that Ed Ogeron has done there to get the players to recenter, refocus, work on improving. They've been very productive since that time and playing very, very well as a team. This, game has turned into a huge rivalry through the years since I've been here, especially, I guess, but probably even before that. But since 2007, I think both teams have been ranked in the top 20 in each one of these games that we've played, and I don't think this one's, really any different. So, LSU has done a great job of taking care of the ball this year on offense. They only have like 5 or 6 turnovers for the whole year. Offensively, they've done a great job of running the ball. They've got a great running back. The quarterback has been very efficient in his passing and how he runs the offense. They got a great receiver in number 7. Their defense is ranked nationally in a lot of categories and has played very well, and pretty typical sort of LSU team in terms of how they play and what they're doing very, very well. Always good on special teams because they have really good team speed. They've got really good returners, so they're, very, very good in the return game. So all around, I think this is probably the best team we played to this point in the season, especially the way they're playing right now, and this will be certainly the most challenging game that we've had to this point.
What are some of the bigger differences you've seen in them since the Detroit loss? How do they look different?
Well, they're just playing better. I mean, they're throwing and catching the ball better. They're blocking better. They've got more positive runs. They've got more explosive plays. Looks like the players are a lot more confident, not in what they're doing, what they're expected to do. They've got really good players, and they've gained confidence through this season, and they're playing really, really well right now. So, I mean, I'm not making any comparisons to early in the season, but I see a team that's improved dramatically, and I think statistically that, and relative to points scored, points allowed, yards per play, yards per carry when they're rushing, all those things have improved dramatically.
Coach, after a few weeks of talking about media distraction and outside influence and so forth, the games in the LSU series have been so physical and so tough. Is it easier? Do the players seem more focused? Is it easier to get their attention when you've been through a series of games like that with a team?
Well, I think that's what you hope for. I think you hope that your team really understands what it takes to be more physical and play against a team who tries to be physical. How important it is to win on the line of scrimmage, how important it is to be well prepared and well focused in a game, and I think, again, that goes back to that energy deal. When you have the right kind of mental intensity, your energy's good, your focus is good, your preparation is good, you go into the game with a lot of confidence, and you have the right mindset to be physical. I think all those things are really important in a game like this, and for the players who have been here and played in this game before, they should really understand that.
Last year's game, it seemed like LSU probably did the best of almost any team in defending Jalen and kind of his ability to scramble. I know he got the late touchdown, but really defending that. What do you see from that game, and what do you think you can kind of use to?
Well, I don't think anything that happened in that game probably is going to affect the outcome of this game. I think they did a really good job of lots of fires off the head of the slot, a lot of loading the box, trying to stop the run and make sure that Jalen couldn't pull the ball. And we probably expect a lot of the same things. Have we had other teams do that? I think we're more well-equipped to handle things like that now, but it's going to come down to our ability to execute those things well in the game.
The playoff poll will come out on Tuesday. You guys will probably be number one in it. Just how are you feeling about the poll and when it comes out and how that may impact
I could care less about the poll. I mean, what significance does a poll have right now? I mean, all we're talking about here is the challenge of our season and where are we going to be in the poll if we don't play well in the next 4 games. So I'm focusing on the next 4 games. I could care less about the poll. You won't see me wasting any time watching TV or watching who's 1, who's 2, and it really doesn't matter. What really matters is how you play the rest of the season, how you focus the rest of the season, how you stay focused the rest of the season. If our players think anything of it, then that could be a problem and an issue too. And, these are the things that we try to categorize as poison that you really don't want your players to be focusing on or thinking about. But I appreciate you asking so I could get this off my chest.
And the college football playoff committee did release those polls that he was asked about right there. We can get that graphic up on the polls. He's right. It doesn't mean anything. I read a thing the last bunch of years, the original top 4 teams, 12 of them in the last 3 years, only 5 of them were still there when you got to the end, and that's, you're talking about less than half of them. So it is what it is.
A lot of football to be played.
It gives radio a lot to talk about, which we don't mind. It gives TV, which we're talking about it right now. The writers, everybody can put it. You see LSU tucked in there at number 19. They're not going to end up in the top 4. in all likelihood. They're not going to end up in the top 4. But they could climb, certainly will climb if they beat Alabama. And if they ran the table, might end up in the top 10.
Yeah. Troy.
Mississippi State. Although State has woken up again lately.
Troy.
So anyway. All right, before we go to break, we like to do this each and every week. There's a lot of other good football played in the state of Louisiana by all the many other schools. And each and every week, the Louisiana Sports Writers Association votes on their players of the week. They give an offense, defense, and a special team. And this week, the award on offense goes to quarterback from Nichols, Chase Forcade.
In relation to the John
That's
Forcade?
John's nephew, his brother Keith's son.
Good player.
Chase Forcade, career high, over 300 yards passing and a road win for Nichols. The Colonels really got that program turned around under Coach Tim Rebow. On defense, senior linebacker Peyton Guidry for the Northwestern State Demons, 14 tackles, including 12 solo. Special teams, Dylan Burkhardt from Southeastern over in Hammond. They didn't win against Sam Houston, but he was perfect on extra points and field goals, and he's been a solid kicker all week, so he gets a special team award this week. Chase Forcade, Peyton Guidry, and Dylan Burkhardt pick up those awards from the Louisiana Sports Writers. So
maybe if it's all LSU next week, maybe that says that LSU
that would mean
did
LSU
really well
won.
against
that would
Alabama.
Mean LSU if they get an SEC player of the week or two. But Jordy, we mentioned it on the surface here on this program. This is an LSU program, but a lot of other good football takes place in this state. Coach Tim Rebow has turned Nichols around. Ron Roberts has been doing well at Southeastern. Mark Hudspeth, they'd like to be doing a little bit better at ULL.
Fritz at Tulane's done well.
Yeah, Dawson Odoms at Southern University. They got their final home game of the year this Saturday, and there's a big VIP party. You saw the commercial for it with Roman Banks. So call the JAG ticket office to get your tickets for that. You got to have a ticket for the VIP party. So there's a lot of other good football going on across the state.
And basketball season right around the corner. The state always pretty good. And
not to mention,
good in baseball as well. So
we're in week 10 of prep football. Final regular season week, district championships and playoff rankings. I mean, all that stuff's in fold right there. So it's going to make
too easy to get in the playoffs now. Too easy.
Well, it is that whole select non-select.
Ridiculous.
We could spend 10 shows on that.
Too
but
easy.
It's a total mess.
It
and
makes no sense.
Hopefully they can rectify that real soon. The principals are the ones that did it. Hopefully they can realize the mistake that they made and clean that up. That'd be a good idea for the LHSAA currently and for the future for all boys and girls that would play sports in the LHSAA. I just had to get that in there.
I agree.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. Certainly. He will talk about LSU, Alabama, and some recruiting stuff for you as well. Mike's up next. With Jordy Holberg, I'm Tommy Krysan. Spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com or YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Stay with us.
Channels with his little remote, wolfing down Cheetos. I hope he don't choke between Monday night football and Friday night fights. I'm lucky if I get to see a show that I like. He never hears the phone or the doorbell ring. I don't try to understand him. It's a male thing.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy Holberg, Tommy Chrysan with you, as we like to do each and every week. Time to visit with Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. He's going to tell you all about that in a little bit. Mike, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Hey, Mike, it's LSU Alabama week. Rolls around once a year about this time on the calendar. And your thoughts on LSU as they head over to Tuscaloosa this weekend. What kind of game do you expect to see?
Man, you wonder if this is going to be a situation where LSU comes out and plays inspired football. They've got a plan to get something done offensively, and maybe Alabama's going to give them something as far as some gifts. But it's not very often that Alabama gives you a bunch of turnovers that helps you out. And you've seen some of the unconventional ways that Matt Canada's offense has gotten it done in these last 3 games. Wide receivers with no receptions but leading in rushing, and running backs leading in receptions but not leading in rushing. I mean, it's, can you get away with that? Can you do that against Alabama? And, Saban at his presser Monday talks about, what he has to do defensively and what he wants to get across to his guys. And when he's talking about, he called it eye candy. He wants his guys not to fall for it. All the motion and shifting and with the open date, I think I'm anxious to see how he defends it. But I've been trying. Well, how's this going to go? What kind of score do I predict? And I just can't seem to get like a 28-7 or a 31-10 out of my mind. I have a hard time. And then I even wonder if LSU can even score on Alabama.
Interesting. I want to go back and from a recruiting perspective, Mike. We know Alabama's had success coming into the state and getting some of our top players to go there. Let's go back to when Bear Bryant was coaching, because he was unprecedented with his success. Did that same thing happen when he was coaching, or was LSU's borders so tight that Charlie Mack and the rest got all the top talent from Louisiana to come to Baton Rouge?
Well, you got to remember back in those days, you had no scholarship limits.
Right.
LSU would do it. I mean, LSU would have over 100 guys on scholarship.
Right.
And,
But I guess my point is that Bear Bryant would come in here, but he wouldn't get these players, right?
He got just a few.
Just a few.
I remember Steve Mott, the big lineman from Shaw, Tommy Wilcox, the defensive back. But not like now where he's getting 1 or 2 a year. Bear got 1 or 2 a decade.
And of course, that's way before my time, but, the guy to talk to on that would surely be Sam Nader.
Right.
Okay.
How that all played out, what the recruiting battles were like back then, and but I mean, heck, you talk about some of the guys who LSU signed from Louisiana, and because they ended up transferring to other schools in the late '70s and early '80s, just because there was so much talent on the LSU roster, it was hard to break through because they were stockpiling players, and then they transfer somewhere else and have great success.
Now, Mike, going into Saturday's game, I know student athletes have a long list of reasons why they select a school. Some lists are longer than others, and sometimes it's a given before the recruiting process starts. But from a perspective of whether LSU wins this game or not, What, in your mind, is the impact on recruiting?
Well, fans look at things different than players do.
Right. That's.
Let's say LSU goes over there and is a 31-7 or something along those lines. How does LSU look in that loss? At the same time, Alabama can't sign everybody. In fact, they don't have a full class to offer this year.
Mm-hmm.
Then the flip side of that is it's not like Louisiana is great this year.
Right.
You got the wide receivers that make up this class, but finding the offensive linemen and the defensive linemen and the running backs has been a chore. The only thing I'm kind of we're waiting to see what will happen with Harold Joyner, the running back from Alabama that LSU's recruiting. Alabama keeps stringing him along and doesn't have a committable offer. Not sure how interested Auburn is in him, and he's a tall kid. He's good 6'3". You see him standing next to Nick Saban posing for a photograph, and he could eat a bowl of cereal off the top of Saban's head. That's how tall he is as a running back. So.
But is he a good running back? Is he good?
He's a guy that other people, if Saban were to take him, he would want him as an outside linebacker. So. Now you're running into 2 years in a row where there's no running backs, and then having to find a couple of junior college offensive linemen. Whereas next year, and I think Grimes is going to make this class go, and then next year he's already got some really nice commitments. I think the players themselves look at it differently. They see opportunity. I think the main thing for LSU is to finish off the season where there's a perception that LSU is ascending and not descending.
Good point.
And in particular, as you watch Alabama and Georgia run away with the league this year.
Yeah, and of course, kids are looking for an opportunity. So if they play a position that looks like a position in need, they're going to have more of an interest. And the fact that Ed Orgeron has put so many freshmen out there, it also lets them know that, hey, if you're good enough, you're going to get on the field.
Let me ask you that.
And look, the difference in these games is the line, and Orgeron nailed it Monday.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to have any success offensively, they've got to protect Danny Etling, and it's got to get done up front.
Let me ask you that.
She's playing freshmen, and Ingram and Charles and those guys. I mean, the future, I think, is bright, and I think where a lot of people, and I think I said it on your show last week, where a lot of people were making Jeff Grimes the whipping boy. I'm real anxious to see what he's able to do now that he doesn't have Les Miles looking over his shoulder, critiquing offensive line recruits along with him, coaching that position with him at practice, micromanaging that position. I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people thought, last year, who would Orgeron keep, who would he, and of course the way the season started off in the loss to Troy, everybody pointing the finger. I think Grimes is a lot more valuable than people think.
Let me ask you this.
I think he's a darn good coach.
Mike, let me ask this question. Earlier this week, Jim McElwain let go from the University of Florida. LSU, Florida recruit against one another in many aspects. Who is LSU and Florida after, and will that help LSU because of the coaching change?
Well, Jamar Chase, obviously, from Rummel. I just don't know where that kid is going to flip. He's going to wait to see who they hire. It was kind of a deal where, when he committed to Florida, that almost seemed like a commitment where it was an anything but LSU. Because he was all set to announce to TCU over LSU back in June when the NFL Network messed up and ran out of time for him to make his announcement.
Right.
And then, a month later he goes to a Florida camp and commits to them. So...
nobody else, just him?
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why McElwain's on the way out the door. He's really the only guy. They're not recruiting well.
Okay.
Now you get Mark Richt down at Miami blowing up, and now, that program is back to looking like the sexy program in the state of Florida. So, Jimbo's struggling. Florida is a dumpster fire, and Miami's surging.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Georgia and Miami in that region are doing well. And I say that, I say that about Jimbo. At the same time, he's got a top 10 recruiting class. That's one thing he can do.
Well, certainly they're having a bad year. Lost their quarterback opening week, but I think you'd have to see more bad years before somebody might think Florida State's slipping.
I have a real strong feeling
that's a quick
they're
reaction.
Back next year.
Yeah, they like many schools have too much talent. This year is just one of those things that's just not going right. It started when they lost their quarterback. So yeah, but no, Jamar Chase, the kid from Rummel, everybody.
That's like a lot of these guys. I mean, it's we're looking at the SEC coaching turnover, and you're like, some of these guys are really good coaches, and they got really good coaches on their staffs.
Right.
But it's not like some of these people, it's just, man, the SEC is just so in a state of transition right now, with everybody trying to figure out what they are, what type of recruits they're going to take, the offenses that are being run now. And then Alabama just being a juggernaut and then hastening coach after coach out the door. Nick Saban's getting a lot of coaches fired.
Is LSU going to sign a bunch of players in this early signing period?
I'm still wanting to know what that number's going to be. I don't know how many they expect. Will they have double digits? I think they can get there. We'll see. Are we going to see a situation where some kids say, that doesn't, that didn't benefit me. I want to take a visit or two in January, even though I'm firm to you.
And when is that early signing period? Is it December?
20 to 22.
December 20th through the 22nd.
Okay. All right.
3-day window, and then they'll still have the signing day the first Wednesday in February.
All right.
So we'll see. And then, Mike, does that speed up the coaching carousel? I mean, these schools going to have to be, who are going to make coaching changes, some already have, they got to get somebody in there by December the 5th, 6th, 7th so they can maybe tackle that. I mean, I know this is the first year of it.
Part of it, but I think that also, the unintended consequences, we don't know yet, but does it also speed up the process for coaches who are making staff changes?
Right.
If this is indeed Pete Jenkins' last season at LSU, and you've got defensive linemen that you're wanting to, sign on board, don't they want to know who their defensive line coach is going to be next season? Well, if you're trying to hire somebody away from another staff that's, participating in bowl practices, typically, Miles always liked to do it. He'd get all his national letters signed on signing day, first Wednesday in February, and then later that evening or the next day, you'd find out, a guy or two's is no longer on the staff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, is that going to change?
Yeah, who knows? And I'm curious to see what happens when the sanctions come down to Ole Miss and those players start to want to evacuate, how quickly, and whether LSU becomes a player in that role as well.
Yeah, but it's not like their commitment list is that eye-opening or appealing.
I'm talking about current players. I'm talking about current players that are going to be sophomores or juniors that they got some pretty talented players. Yeah.
The day that Freeze got fired, I thought that was the best thing that could have happened to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I don't know that the NCAA hammers them with a second bowl ban.
Well, we all thought they'd hammer North Carolina, and they didn't. So you never know.
Right.
We got to let that play out.
I mean, seriously, I'm not taking up for Ole Miss, but this has been hanging over them for 2 years. Just being investigated and that being out there puts you on probation.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's like it's already there. Hey, Mike.
I mean, that's hurt them for 2 years in recruiting already. That's a penalty in itself.
Yeah.
Good point. Mike, tell everybody about TigerBait.com. Basketball's underway. All of the recruiting information, Tiger football. Tell folks why they should subscribe today to TigerBait.com.
Yeah, go to TigerBait. We're about to start all our postseason. Loading down all our HD video for a lot of the backlogs of the film that we've shot this year. That's all about to start getting loaded on the site. We do our all-day chats every Wednesday. That's our most popular feature. And got a freebie on the front page right now about Devonta Jason, who we talked about. and flipping him from Kansas. I think I put it out last week. It sure does look good for LSU in flipping him. And, of course, he's a 5-star wide receiver, very physical, much needed.
All right, Mike, thanks for your time as always. We'll visit next week.
All right, talk then. Thanks.
Okay.
All right, Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com. Very good. I go to that website frequently. Good stuff. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to bounce the basketball a little bit. We'll let Jordy talk about it, and even we'll hear from Will Wade right after this pause on Tigers Roar, Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-718-3516. 800-718-3516.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment. 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Flying under the radar last night, LSU basketball had an exhibition game to benefit hurricane victims, and Tulane was able to come up with an 84-74 win down at Fogelman Arena in New Orleans. Jordy, you say don't read anything into that.
preseason game, first time they're playing against somebody other than themselves. Don't just take it with a grain of salt. It's no big deal at all. Lots to be worked on. It's not going to come like this. It's going to take some time, and we'll see what happens. Duop Reith led the way with 23 and 12, and Skylar Mays had 19-18 in the second half. So
here's Coach Will Wade talking about his basketball team after the game.
I thought we played hard. We didn't play as smart as we needed to play. Every time we could get it close, we made some big-time defensive breakdowns. Disappointing our defense. We let a couple of their guys get loose early and get going. But good credit to them. They shot it well. They played well. And we certainly got to play better. Our defense has to be better. Our rebounding was pretty good, but we got to be able to defend better.
Question. Is this one of those where you talked about your jump shooting team? Some nights the shots are going to go in, sometimes they're...
Well, I mean, shoot, he was dominating in the paint. We got guys out there. I mean, we're trying to feed the ball to him. We're calling all our stuff to throw the ball inside in the paint. You know, obviously we didn't shoot it very well tonight. That's what happens when you're relying on jump shots. We had this big guy in the paint. I thought Kerr gave us good energy when he was in there. He's not as skilled with the post moves, but he gave us good energy. We should have thrown it. We mauled him in the paint. We just should have kept throwing it in there.
What was the difference between Sky in the first half and Sky in the second half from your perspective?
Yeah, it's a little. He got 2 fouls in the first half. Sky's a good player. He's going to be really good for us. I thought he was best with the ball in his hands tonight. He was our best point guard tonight. And I think he's just able to get into a flow of the game. I probably should have played him with 2 fouls a little bit earlier in the first half. The floor got away from us.
Talk a little bit about how your freshmen performed tonight. After what you saw.
Waters wasn't what he can be. He wasn't up to his capabilities, and we think he's got to get better for us. And we think he will. But it's just he was bottled up a little bit, and Rochelle did a good job being physical and driving in there. You got to be able to finish those plays. I thought their kid, number 10, played really well as a freshman. I thought he was really good. We couldn't keep him out of the paint, and he had a big corner 3 there at one point. I thought he played well. We got to be able to finish plays, and our freshmen have to grow up quickly and be a part of what we're doing. I thought Kerr played the best of the freshmen. I thought he gave us the most energy and effort. It's just hard to take Wop out when Wop was scoring down there in the post like that. But I thought Kerr did some good things.
Quick break here on Tigers Roar. It's early, according to the basketball guy. Quick break. We'll come back and put a wrap on it. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a formal affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Putting a wrap on the show. Don't forget the post-game show right after the game, approximately 10:30. Your phone calls, your text messages.
You never know. You never know.
Radio, TV, check us out. You know the drill by now. We'll be there right after that game. Primetime Saturday night. Kick will be just after 7. We'll hit the air 10:30, maybe 10:45. Buddy Sanji and I will have it for you. 90-minute program, radio, TV, smartphones, internet, the whole bit. Television repeats on Sunday morning in case you miss it. And Sunday afternoon, like with a lot of our programming, you can go to youtube.com/Pelican Broadcast. And well, Jordy, for the most part, the hay's in the barn. Everybody's looking forward to Saturday night. November's here and Thanksgiving month, so lots of good stuff.
If Danny Etling throws for 300-plus yards, LSU can win the game.
I agree with that. If Geis rushes for 130 or more, they might mean they won.
Yeah, good luck with that.
No,
but 300, 350 yards passing.
I said if that happens. If a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his butt, though, so we're good. Hey, it takes a lot of people here to put this program together. Most importantly, we appreciate you watching, whether you catch the original airing on a Wednesday or a replay on Pelican or ETEL Cable or YouTube. We appreciate you. On behalf of the entire crew here at Pelican Broadcasting and Mr. Jordy Holberg, don't read anything into the basketball scrimmage.
Not yet.
My name's Tommy Chrysan. Don't forget to check us out on the post game Saturday night right here at about 10:30. Talk to you then.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.